Today we're going to cover the enmity, which means hatred and jealousy between Esau, the white man, and Jacob, the black man. And we're going to also cover many things that mighty God AHAYAH hates, especially idol worshiping. Mighty God AHAYAH is a jealous mighty God. He's visiting the iniquity of all those that hate him and hate his seed. We're going to cover several scriptures in the King James Version Bible, starting off with Genesis 3:15. Genesis 3:15. And I, AHAYAH, will put enmity, which means hatred, between thee, Satan, and the woman Eve, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou, Eve, shall bruise his heel. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am AHAYAH thy mighty God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. For AHAYAH thy mighty God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. For thou shalt worship no other God, for mighty God AHAYAH, whose name is jealous, is a jealous mighty God. Neither shalt thou set thee up any image, which mighty God AHAYAH thy mighty God hated. You shall not go after other gods of the people which are round about you. For AHAYAH thy mighty God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of AHAYAH thy mighty God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Therefore, thus says AHAYAH El Elohi, which means mighty God. Now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. AHAYAH our mighty God is jealous, and AHAYAH revengeth, and is furious. AHAYAH our mighty God will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. If I whet my glittering sword, and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. Mine heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It crieth out against me, therefore have I hated it. Consider mine enemies, AHAYAH, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. But mine enemies are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. All that hate me whisper together, AHAYAH, against me. Against me do they devise my hurt. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, AHAYAH, and in wrath they hate me. They hate me without a cause, or more than the hairs on my head. They that would destroy me bring mine enemies wrongfully, or mighty. Then I restore that which I took not away. AHAYAH, deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from them that hate me, and out of the deep waters, I pray thee. Show me a token for good, AHAYAH, I pray thee, that they which hate me may see it, and be ashamed, because thou, AHAYAH, hast upholded me, and comforted me. AHAYAH thy mighty God shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. And I, AHAYAH, will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock, and shed blood or judged, and I will give thee blood in fury and jealousy. AHAYAH my mighty God taketh my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me. They that hate me, thee, shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. Mighty God AHAYAH trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hated. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies, AHAYAH. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate me. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hated the righteous shall be desolate. Thou lovest righteousness, AHAYAH, and hated wickedness. Therefore, AHAYAH, my mighty God, hath anointed me with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. Let mighty God AHAYAH arise, let his enemies be scattered, let them also that hate him flee before him. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. You that love mighty God AHAYAH hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked. Mighty God AHAYAH, let them all be confounded and turn back that hate Zion. He that sinneth against me wrong his own soul. All they that hate me love death. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome, and cometh to shame. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Have mercy upon me, O AHAYAH. Consider my trouble which I suffer of them that hate me, thou that liftest me up from the gates of death. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. The world cannot hate you, says mighty God AHAYAH and Yeshua the Son, but me it hated, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Blessed are you when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil, for the Son of Man's sake. For everyone that doth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light lest his. If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. The world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. He that hate me hated my Father AHAYAH, thy mighty God also. If I had not done among them the works which none of other men did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father AHAYAH. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. I have given them thy word, AHAYAH, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I, Yeshayah, am not of the world. Understand, therefore, this day, that AHAYAH thy mighty God is he which goeth over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out, and destroy them quickly, as AHAYAH mighty God hath said unto thee. For AHAYAH thy mighty God is a consuming fire. Therefore, thus says AHAYAH mighty God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea which have appointed my land unto their possessions, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys which represent people. Thus says AHAYAH Elohim, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because you have borne the shame of the heathen. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. Therefore, thus says AHAYAH mighty God, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and I will be jealous for my holy name. Then will AHAYAH thy mighty God be jealous for his land, and pity his people. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of AHAYAH's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Therefore, wait you upon me, said AHAYAH mighty God, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fury, anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Thus says AHAYAH mighty God of hosts, I was jealous for Zion, which is Judah, with a great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Know therefore that AHAYAH thy mighty God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hated him. He will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. And AHAYAH thy mighty God will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of those evil diseases of Egypt which thou knowest upon thee, but will lay them up. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth, he winketh with his eye, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things do AHAYAH mighty God hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that deviseth wickedness imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. The fear of mighty God AHAYAH is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. Excuse my puppies. For I, AHAYAH thy mighty God, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that AHAYAH thy mighty God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these things are things that I hate, said AHAYAH, mighty God. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve mighty God AHAYAH and mammon, which is money, wealth. As it is written, Jacob, who is Israel, have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Thank you so much for listening.